Nobody can actually define a situationship. Ask anyone in one and watch them try. We're, like, together. But not, like, together. It's complicated. We're just seeing what happens. They'll reach for words and come up empty, because the definition isn't missing. It's deliberate. Here's what no one tells you. A situationship isn't a relationship that hasn't found its label yet. It's a relationship engineered to never need one. The ambiguity isn't the awkward in-between phase. The ambiguity is the whole product. Somebody designed it that way, and it wasn't you. So let's talk about the 5 signs you're not in a relationship that's still figuring itself out. You're in a situationship. And the first step out of it is seeing it for what it actually is. The sign of the permanent prelude. You've heard the phrase, let's just see where this goes. Say it out loud. It sounds open, doesn't it? Like a door left wide, like possibility. But here's the trick, where this goes has an unspoken ending, somewhere that's not with you. Notice what they never do. They never introduce you as anything. You meet their friends, but as a friend. You show up to things, but with an asterisk. Every milestone that would move a relationship forward, they gently steer you around, the way you'd steer a car around a pothole. Not with a no. With a not yet. With a we're not ready. With I'm just not in a place right now. You've been in the waiting room of a hospital where the doctor never calls your name. You've been in a permanent prelude, the opening credits of a movie that never starts. And the cruelest part? The prelude is the point. They get everything they want from you, your time, your attention, your affection, without ever having to give you the one thing that would make it real, a place. The sign of the closed calendar. Here's a test you can run with 0 effort. Open your calendar and look at the last 3 months. Count how many times you had a specific, planned thing together, a date with a day and a time, set more than 48 hours in advance. Now count how many times it was tonight, or you free later, or I'm bored, want to come over, spontaneous. The situationship runs on spontaneity like a machine runs on fuel, and that's on purpose. Plans are commitments. Spontaneity is a choice you can take back. You free tonight? Costs them nothing. A dinner on Friday at 8 is a promise, and promises are exactly what they're avoiding. So the calendar stays empty and the last-minute texts stay full. You're not a priority on their calendar. You're a filler in it. And if you're always the thing they do when they have nothing better, you already know what that makes you. The sign of the emotional firewall. You tell them things. Deep things. The stuff you don't say to anyone else, your fears, your past, the version of you that doesn't perform. You open the door all the way. Now notice what comes back. Warmth, sure. Affection, absolutely. But watch what happens when you try to go deeper with them. When you ask about their day, you get the weather. When you ask what they're feeling, you get a deflection. When you try to talk about us, you get a topic change so smooth you almost don't notice you've been redirected. This is the emotional firewall. One-way glass. They can see everything about you, and you see nothing back. They let you in completely, then keep their own door locked. And here's the trap. You mistake their listening for intimacy. But listening isn't intimacy. Listening is data collection. They're not sharing themselves with you, they're receiving you. And that's a very different thing. The sign of the convenient silence. Pay attention to what happens after you're together. There's a pattern to the silence that follows, and it's never an accident. You spend the night, you have a great time, and then, radio silence. Not a cold silence. Not an angry one. Just, a managed one. They text you just enough to keep the line alive, a heart emoji, a how's your day, but never enough to build anything. It's the emotional equivalent of breathing, enough oxygen to stay alive, never enough to take a real step. This silence does 2 jobs at once. It keeps you hooked, because a little attention is always enough to keep hope breathing. And it keeps them safe, because they never have to actually show up. They get to have you on their terms, present when it's convenient, gone when it's not. And you've been so grateful for the little they give, you've stopped noticing how much they withhold. The sign of the missing future. Here's the last one, the one that hurts the most. Try to picture them 6 months from now. Not in a what will we be way. Just picture your life with them in it, in any real way. Now notice what happens. The image won't come into focus. Because they've never once, not a single time, given you a reason to believe they'll be there. Every plan is short-term. Every promise is vague. Every one day is a horizon that never gets closer. They've never once said the words that would anchor you, we, us, our, in a way that means next month, let alone next year. You're living in their present tense, and they've never once invited you into their future. You've been building a life around someone who's been building nothing around you. So here's the part nobody frames honestly. You didn't end up in a situationship by accident. You ended up there because somewhere along the way, you confused being wanted with being chosen. They want you, in the moment, on their terms, when it's easy. And it felt so much like a relationship that you filled in every blank yourself. When the label never came, you told yourself it would. When the plans never came, you told yourself they would. When they kept you at arm's length, you told yourself you just needed to be patient, that if you were good enough, sweet enough, patient enough, they'd finally see you. That's the quiet lie a situationship runs on. That waiting a little longer will turn it into something real. But waiting isn't a strategy. It's a sentence. And you've been serving it alone. Here's the truth that frees you. A situationship isn't a relationship waiting to happen. It's a relationship that already happened, and they already decided how it ends. They decided it ends with them keeping you at a distance. Every sign you've felt, the vague words, the empty calendar, the firewall, the silence, the missing future, that's not confusion. That's an answer. It's the clearest answer you're ever going to get, and it didn't need a single word. If you're in one, I'm not going to tell you to send a dramatic, define a relationship text and demand an answer, because you already have the answer. You've had it for months. You've just been too scared to read it. The question was never whether they'll finally choose you. It's whether you'll finally stop choosing someone who keeps the door open just wide enough to keep you waiting, but never wide enough to let you in. You've been a passenger in someone else's movie, waiting for your name to be called. But here's the thing you keep forgetting, you're the one holding the remote. You can change the channel. You can walk out of the waiting room. You can stop being the plan that fills their empty Friday and start being the person who fills their own. Stop auditioning for a role they're never going to cast. You were never the supporting character. You were just standing in front of a mirror, and you forgot which side was yours. If this one saw straight through you, subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't teach you how to read someone's mixed signals better. We teach you how to stop needing to.